you've ever been on a press junket for a movie, that's the question. What was the biggest challenge? It's a good question. It's a true question.
All right, relaunched. Can anybody hear me? How's it coming through?
Honestly, I think it was all.
Is it coming through?
Nixon and Bowie and doing all. No, I do. Honestly,
I went with the Ethernet cable.
Like, the casting of
maybe that'll help.
Legally, we were like, do we need to get permission? I don't know. I guess we're okay. Is it a parody? What is it? But the makeup.
Loud and clear. All right, good. Thanks.
All those people. We wanted them to.
Nothing goes right.
And it was a lot of makeup effects and a lot of design. And I remember Castro like flaked on us, and we pulled someone from the.
No, Jack Carp. Jack Carp was Castro. Our Castro went crazy. And like at the last second, he was like, "Wait a minute, is this a parody of Castro? Because I'm like playing the serious Castro."
All right,
I'm not trying to.
It's back. It's working. You guys let me know if it goes dead again, all right?
Okay, who's around here that looks like Castro?
Remember, you know,
super
a bicycle accident. He had rented a bike and like fallen off of it and was
drunk, Al.
And it was a weird situation. And then he was, and I said, you know what? Yeah, you're not gonna do that. So then our carpenter, who's like our on-set carpenter,
good chat, Captain.
who was working on the movie, Johnny. I was like, Johnny, you want to be Castro? All my life, I'll just like Castro. And he looks awesome. He looks like Castro. He looks more like Castro. I thought today, I'm like, Johnny looks just like Castro. Cool. But I don't put that as the biggest challenge.
Wait, I have two of them.
Welcome back, Kyle.
So it was. I do think the makeup effects were challenging.
Restart.
But I also think that the amount of sets that we had, and also for the budget,
Jose,
we were trying to figure out. And Alex McDowell was supposed to be here. He watched the movie, and then he had a family issue that he had to leave. But
That's Alex.
It's as much money as you have. You never seem like you have enough money, and there was over 120 sets that we had to build. And this backlot, because you realize that 80s New York doesn't exist anywhere anymore. It's like we scouted New York and we wanted it to feel really gritty. So we built this backlot and, you know, across, so we had New York and then we had like Vietnam across the street. So we couldn't turn the camera around because it was Vietnam. But we shot every single inch of that backlot and we reused pieces of the sets.
Never disposed of sewage in a toilet
before. Just talking a little bit earlier how we went like one set we used the interior and then we were like come back after lunch.
Last live stream kind of failed.
So we had to like
hopefully this one doesn't.
And then come back and then use it for something else. So it was a lot of that like world building is difficult, but world building when you also have to like reuse.
I'm not the only one using the internet right now, so
makes it even more challenging.
It's taking up bandwidth.
Is that better?
No, that's great.
Okay.
That's 100%. Yeah, no, I mean, the careful thing is
it's Watchmen, man. Zack Snyder's talking.
Sets that we shot for the film were very like carefully designed. Look, there's a lot of stuff that we were like, fuck it, let's just maybe this is cooler. But a lot of the movie was just very much as I drew it. So you actually could make 120 sets and not, because like I was, like for instance, when the young Dr. Manhattan is working on in the watch at his dad's watch factor shop.
Tall order.
And he's building his watch. That was like this crazy teeny set that I think was part of another set. And we were just like, okay, that's fine. That's cool. Because it's like, because the movie's so vignette-y, you know, it's like so many vignettes, one right after the other. And to figure it out, you just have to be really careful and not, because you can kill everyone just by going like, it would be cool if we looked that way, you know, like the other way. And they're like, there's no set over there.
Well, and I think that's the thing though, because you draw all of the storyboards, every single frame, we could talk about it ahead of time. So, like, Zack isn't one of these directors who shows up and is like, okay, I'm in the room. And
That's doing a great job with the Watchmen
everything
quotes
is
here.
So specifically planned, whether it's visual effects or whether it's what
everyone should have Bureau open watching it right now.
So on the day, it's really about the performance. We're not thinking about that, and then we can put more money on the screen because we're only
Yes,
building
Hard Boiled.
what we
He does
really
shoot
need.
everything he
One
draws.
of the things in the movie that's cool, and I don't know if anybody got the reference to congratulations, Mr. Gorski. Does anyone know what that is about? Does everybody know who? Show of hands who knows who Mr. Gorski is. So it's a small group. It's a dedicated group. It's an over. So the shot of Neil Armstrong, right? And you hear him go, congratulations, Mr. Gorski, on his thing, right? On his. It's funny when we saw.
You can hear it clear.
When I watched First Man.
Good to know.
The movie, remember, you guys saw First Man. Okay, when I watched First Man,
Shawnee B. I would love to see the storyboards for Justice League. Kevin Smith says they're fucking amazing.
And it's not an urban legend. It's true.
Or he was told they were really good.
Neil Armstrong's neighbor, Neil Armstrong had said to his neighbor, like, one day I'm going to make it to the moon. Like, I'm going to be an astronaut. I'm going to go to the moon. And his neighbor said to him, like, when on that day, I think it was the wife who said it to him, right? So the wife says to him, like, if you ever make it to the moon, I'm going to give Mr. Gorski a blowjob. if this kid makes it to the moon, get ready, Mr. Gorski. That's what's going to happen. So that's what the reference to that. Congratulations, Mr. Gorski.
Dude, Zack Snyder making blowjob jokes. Can life get better? I submit it cannot.
It's cool, though. My point is that there are some details in the movie that you're maybe not aware of.
Wait, great homage to the War Room in Doctor Strange.
Yes, so you're very much so. Who knows the episode of Outer Limits that is playing on the TV?
Yeah, it's the last scene of the movie.
The
really.
last scene. Because we hear the logo, we hear the intro, but there's an actual. If you listen carefully to the audio, it's actually, I forget actually what episode it is. You clapped. Somebody knows that. Same storyline, yeah. Because it's referenced in the graphic novel. Yeah. Anyway, that's great. So it's not completely random.
Yeah, no, it is not. I felt like one of the bedroom scenes.
The stream went black, but I still hear the audio.
Oh yeah, 100%. I wish Alex was here. All of Dr. Manhattan's stuff is very 2000.
Damn right, Timothy.
Inspired.
Damn right.
Because he's.
Yeah, they better.
Yeah, because it's a famous movie. Just saying. All right, we're opening this up to the audience. We have microphone people on both sides, so raise your hand. I see a hand go right up over here. The man in the
questions, guys.
That's stupid. I'm warning you, buddy. That's it. He's doing this. He's coming up for air.
Moment of truth.
So I'm super nervous to ask some questions. I'm gonna have to pull up what I wrote down.
Oh, that's scary.
That's scary.
It's going short. So
It's illegal. I don't.
So it's going on a lot of noir, I guess, really noir feeling. Were there a lot of noir films that you guys watched either during production or during pre-production to pull specific moments from, either in
Silhouette question.
What's next?
No, Zach.
We were talking about silhouettes up in the at dinner. Because like that shot where Rorschach kicks the door in, and he's standing there.
Yeah, Men in Tights.
Cool. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Probably. It'll probably be like the very last question. How much you want to bet? And Zack Snyder's going to give a political answer.
Well, he's kind of hard-boiled kind of dude, right? So I think
That's so true.
I played everything very noir.
Hey, Hard Boiled, he just mentioned you.
That's what did it.
What motivation?
Well, I would always just go, more noir.
The voiceover, too. That's a very noir.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, as a genre, VO, silhouettes, guy in a fedora. There's nothing left. There's no more noir.
That's kind of a giveaway.
That's kind of it. That's it. So absolutely.
Richie, it depends. It could be from 5 years to 10 years or forever. It depends. Usually for films, it's like
You
5
see the
years.
stores where you sit around
Usually.
and watch DVDs, watch
Touch of Evil. I mean,
Yes, his sense of humor is pretty awesome.
It sounds pretentious, but if you want to do something different, we do. Then I was thinking, well, this is a period piece in the 70s. But my question was always like, look like the 70s, but then it's going to look like a parody, like a sitcom. So, and you can't make it completely modern, just modern completely film techniques, and then it's like, so it's a weird hybrid. Where I was kind of towing the line.
I mean, because we had so much, there's so much in the material that's built in. Like, look, when I said, okay, I want to build.
I saw BVS,
Warworld,
I think 6 times in theaters, Kevin.
So that
maybe 5.
you can't shoot that.
I know, I saw it a lot.
Any other way.
I saw Dark Knight Rises a lot too.
Okay, and that was actually one of those sets where.
But BVS, yeah.
Cool, but it was.
I like the theatrical, but the fucking Ultimate Edition's incredible.
In the background, it's hard to. I remember.
Nice,
like,
Liz. Saw it 9 times.
This super little guy was like a jockey to play the guard in the room.
Give him a link, Zod Rider.
So we had this little guy.
My chat might block your link.
Because he was just this teeny
I'm not gonna adjust anything.
So, but it was things like that we had to do all the time in order to make, like, how are we going to make this? We only have
nice, 12 times.
It's supposed to be a giant room. I'm like, okay.
I saw Dark Knight Rises like 15 times in theaters, guys. I was nerding out hard over that film.
So, but yes, so there was. Look,
yeah, I don't get it either, man.
It's a, and also I
BBS doesn't deserve any hate. Film's really well made.
Those movies are in our, you can't make a shot of a guy in a fedora in a doorway or at the top of a staircase, Yeah, it's going to be that. So, yes, and no.
Next question's over here.
I have 2 questions.
Kyle,
First question.
you've watched it 2 times at home. I've watched it like 100 times at home. I've seen BVS way too many times.
Lighting setups, the actors, their marks, is it technical issues with new equipment? And then my second question was for Mr. Paul. What were your go-to lights and focal lengths for Watchmen?
35 mil?
Yeah, Phantom. That's very true.
35 mil if it's spherical.
The narrative's like the same. It's just the Ultimate Edition's way more detailed.
That's 100% true. 35 mil. When in doubt. Totally.
Favorite Snyder moments?
Don't ask the DP.
Sorry, it's
300, it's the shot of King Leonidas dying. That's a great shot.
That's a rude question.
BBS when they're facing off. Man of Steel when he's looking up into the beam.
Yeah, that's true. We did. Dave Joshi's here. He's right there. Stand up, Dave. Please. He's also in the realm of Watchmen.
Dude, girlfriends are like that. You obsess over anything but them. They find a goddamn problem.
And so basically, he's the guy. If anyone in this room who I sat next to the entire movie was Dave. And so, like, Dave got the most raw, like, pure Zack Snyder Watchmen experience. Because I'd be like, oh, let's watch. What do we watch the most? Probably.
I don't think it's Dave the Film Junkie he's talking about.
Cox and Combs, Washington. Is anyone familiar with Lee's Washington? Fucking sweet. Go look it up immediately. Go watch it. So we watched that like 1,000 times.
As we were waiting for Larry.
But I was paying David to play those things for all the time, so you're not staring at me.
See? It's a conspiracy. And then we also watched a lot of some Andy Samberg, a lot of Samberg, like all those SNL, like we watched.
He's an Andy Samberg fan.
One, Iran was our thing. You know that? Have you guys seen that SNL like short called Iran, where Samberg and who's the guy from? It's the guy from fucking. He probably sang in the Super Bowl.
Justin Timberlake.
No, Super Bowl. Adam Levine. Oh, Adam Levine. Anyway, it was Adam Levine and
Are you seeing Film
Sanford
Junkie somewhere?
doing this weird
Deep,
thing,
Deepka?
like a create uses that Iran. It's about.
I thought Film Junkie was seeing Watchmen too. I don't know.
The Prime Minister of Iran when he came to the UN to talk. It's about him being gay, and you just have to watch it. It's amazing. So it was that. It was Washington and and the Narnia one.
Narnia one.
Chronicles of Narnia. That was also in heavy rotation. With those three things to distract us from Larry's.
I didn't take that long.
No. We were enjoying it. It was a 300 time.
You wanted to do
So it was fine.
You need.
No.
But did we finish on schedule?
We did.
Yes, we did.
Stupid critics just hate that movie and say it had a weak plot. Half the MCU movies have weak plots and they say nothing about it. Damn right, dude. Damn right.
Whatever light turns on.
You know, they never gave a chance because it wasn't what they were expecting. They were expecting like a 45-minute Batman versus Superman fight. That's not what they got. And they got fucking mad. It's fucking pathetic.
Actually, the giant Karnak set had like 300 JDs all by themselves. So
I would have been fine with a two-parter for VES.
and it's not hot and dangerous.
But still.
It's like super hot and if something breaks. Right. So
Happy with what we got.
that's the only lens we use.
I don't think it is the only lens. But
Yeah,
it's pretty
Mandalorian. I talked about that in the last stream before it crashed. Talked about Shazam.
Long lenses.
Pretty amazing. 97%.
James, I think that's
Put some fun and humor, and what do you know? The critics fucking love it. I can't wait to see Shazam.
You know what I do?
People are loving it.
Love, like 35 mil, but like as wide open as possible. So I
Need more
like
quibs.
it's wide, but I still like 5 wide. Like a 35 mil, you know, to me is like a semi-wide lens. It's a lens that you could still shoot.
Hell, they
close-up
could have.
of a-
They really
of a
could have just
person with,
split BVS
and
into
not
two
have
parts. It was a
movie
long enough
weird.
movie they could have just did that.
But it's still there's
Could kill build it.
You can still register depth of field with it because I think that
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
if
Kevin.
you're 35,
Damn
you're
right.
still like,
They only
oh,
fight for like 2
you're wide
pages.
open on 18. It's just like okay, so what? Everything's in focus anyway.
The point isn't the fight,
But, like,
you know?
it-
It's the
it-
meaning behind it.
Look like freakishly weird, but you know, something like their nose is shine or something. So what do you think? No, I mean, I would always ask, but not often. You know, I would
more because
yeah.
I would say I was doing it.
Yeah, Phantom. Dude, I could swear that the critics were the actual trolls, you know, for BVS, right?
It's like it is.
I read so many reviews for BVS, they all sound like goddamn trolls.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Yeah, they're all like, so it says it's 2, but it's a 4. Because they don't want me to get fired.
There you go.
Fucking dropping shit.
Man with black shirt.
Man with a black shirt.
First time I saw Watchmen was on Tuesday before it opened. After screening, Dave Gibbons came out, and he said, "I just got done doing the commentary for the Ultimate Cut." He described it to us, and we had just seen the theatrical cut, and we were all like, "When does this come out?" He said, "I don't know."
Yeah, man.
Then
I'm glad they left Wonder Woman in.
Yeah,
Because it led into the Wonder Woman film great, you know? You got introduced to Wonder Woman, then you saw her film.
It was a very different time.
It was perfect.
And when you read the Watchmen graphic novel, which lives with you knew what that felt like. Watching the Watchmen tonight had a very different
Yeah, Phantom.
feel than 2009. It felt like it belonged here and now. It was reflecting what we have going on.
Confirmed, Zach likes it
And
wide.
there are films.
He likes it very long and very wide.
That become art. And I think that Watchmen, I felt then, I feel now, is one of the great films of the last decade. It's a piece of art.
Yeah, man.
And the greatest thing about it
They're saying it's a piece of art.
really works. Every version is organic to what it was. This is my favorite version. But the longer cut is the graphic novel brought to life in cinema. Each one in its own way.
respect is perfect.
Let's talk about the ultimate cut of
I really want to
Watchmen.
compliment everybody here on an incredible artistic achievement. And I've never seen period 80s anything backlot done, period, done so incredibly. The audience that night really would have loved to have had there because everybody in the audience could not believe those were sets. And everybody's contribution was just phenomenal. But I'm really glad you guys made a critical reevaluation of it. Scott, what a great gift.
Yeah, Zack Snyder was actually talking earlier about how they can never release Watchmen now. Like, no studio would ever like put money into this kind of movie. Todd. David, I don't think there was any mention of a Jason Todd, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I had scoured the graphic novel. A lot of the songs are referenced in the graphic novel.
They never mentioned Jason Todd. They just show a Robin suit. It could be any Robin
What's that?
in BBS.
Yeah, mixtape. Yes, exactly. So I had to make a mixtape.
It could be fucking
and just
Tim Drake for all the fuck we know. You know.
But a lot of yeah.
Why are we buffering? Buffering. All right, back.
And, what was it? It was actually that was the first time I heard the class was 13. So it was like, wow.
I think Zach said it could be Dick. Did he? Or he said, like, how do you know it's not Dick Grayson? Isn't that what he said? It's something cryptic like he usually does. Why is it stopped? It's buffering. Yeah, Jacob. Yeah, that's a good reason why it could be Tim. The staff.
I'm just
Either way, it doesn't matter. They're not going through with that storyline. It doesn't. They're dropping all that.
It's funny because Debbie and I recently, I've been working on Fountainhead and just writing, and we met with Philip. But I really wanted him to do the score for it because I always felt like that would be like perfect. He would be perfect. He would be perfect for it. And we haven't gotten a day, but we've had a lot of great meetings with him and sort of got to know him through that process. It's been really cool to sit with him, go to his house in New York and hang out with him. That's pretty cool. Yeah, he's awesome. So, and it was cool because actually when we put it on the movie, I had to call him to say,
how much notice would you have needed to make it to the Snyder event?
We put your music.
I don't know.
You didn't attend on a scene in our crazy
like a
movie
month.
About
it wasn't that much notice. It was only like a week or two, right?
You have to. I was like, you have to see it.
It was buffering. I don't know what the question was.
I had a hard time describing. It sounded bad. So just watch it. And then he was really cool. He was like, that. It was amazing. He really loved the sequence. So that was really. It was cool. He was like, it's often that an artist does it.
Let's hit somebody in the back. I saw a man with a black hat on with his hand way up there. He's waving at me.
This is a question for Zach. And,
question.
If you were talking about Watchmen being a comic book movie that you wouldn't see anymore or anytime soon, maybe, it definitely was not part of the norm as a comic book movie. If it wasn't Watchmen, what other graphic novel do you think it could have been, in terms of what Watchmen was for comic book movies?
It's a good question. Let me just clarify. So you're asking, at that time in the world, it's hard because Watchmen is a deconstructed superhero movie, right? So it's basically like...
in terms of like the maturity aspect of it, because comic book movies were, more family friendly.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, that's what I was going to get at. Basically, my point is that you have a movie like Watchmen that 10 years ago was basically addressing the genre of superhero movies. With now, in the 10 years since
1 second,
Watchmen
Moses.
came out, who knew how far we go with this superhero idea, right? With this, you know, how superheroes have inundated the culture of cinema as they have. You know? And I'm part of the problem. But my point is only that, like, when you watch,
he asked why Watchmen could be released today.
Knowing what we know, it's really,
Thanks, Walter.
in a lot of ways, the movie should be being made now if you really want to, like. But again, the cool part about Watchmen is that you couldn't make this movie now, right? So it's in a weird way, like in a crazy time capsule. Like we made a movie for now, 10 years ago, in reference to deconstruct the way cinema has evolved. You know, so it's a really cool, like, I don't know, it's serendipitous. It's impossible to explain. But I do think that it's cool. When Chris Nolan and I were talking about
Darksaber. There should have been.
Superman, when we were literally getting ready to do Superman. He said to me, he was like, you know, Watchmen is the movie that makes Superman, you know, possible in a cool way. But the interesting thing is, like,
oh, come on, don't buffer now. God.
You know, people talk about however I have influenced or whatever I've done with Superman and Batman and everything I've done up till now. You know, and then people have like criticized me for a lot of different aspects of the way I've interpreted those characters. But if you've seen this film, if you know that I made that movie, right, it's very difficult.
Keeps buffering, guys. This is bullshit. He's getting to a good point, too. Why is this? God, I have to fucking reload this again.
To then say, you know, well, why would he do A or why would he do B?
Dude, this stream is like, this is not going as well as last night, huh? Yeah. Jack brings up Superman, Batman, all of a sudden it buffers. It was going fine for like 25 minutes, and it's just, I'll reopen it. I don't know what you're talking about, Halado. That just that looks like gibberish right now to me. Still buffering. Well, I guess we're gonna talk a little bit until this comes back. Yeah, it might be too many people watching. I got full bars. I don't know why it's taking so long. This guy keeps saying the same thing. Right? I think I missed the best part. Are you guys serious? Is it really worth it? What does he say? You fucking with me? All right, I'm gonna have to put this guy in like timeout right here. Timeout. He's just doing spam. Zach going after Man of Steel critics? God, come on! Buffer, you son of a bitch. Oh my God. Is he like standing up? Is he throwing his chair across the stage? No. Right as the applause break ends, it comes back. God. This is some bullshit. And it's still buffering.
Hurt anybody, we need to do the right thing. But during the whole damn show,
We missed something good.
Anybody with
Snap those critics' necks like Zod. I'm going to go back and rewatch that after this. My connection tonight's just fucked.
What you were talking about a little bit, but I was going to ask you if you had any information about where you were going, because I think that's what we see now. But the amalgamation of characters, like you're flipping coins, like Ozymandias and Lex, or you get Night Owl and Suits. They have the sort of trajectories of morality, and I think that's what kind of comes up. The biggest one, Dr. Manhattan, Suits, the plus minus empathy, and how they see that, and is there a parallel that you?
Vincent, what do you apologize for?
When you came to DC
You apologize for the stream buffering?
And then there's scenes in the films that have I guess sort of mirror shot, such as Lex's corporation, and you have
Dude, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that and do a reaction to it and post it as a separate video.
Yes. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Dude, what the hell? Nothing's perfect. People were having this problem yesterday. A lot of people in my chat were saying it was freezing like this yesterday. And now it's doing it for me today. Anything that can happen will happen. Dude, if I could find the video, yeah. Dude, what is going on? This is such.
I don't know. Maybe you ended up there, but did you find it? Yeah, that's a good question. I think that
no one stays good in this world.
It goes to what I was saying about the, it's like if you read, and I'm sure, I don't know if everybody's read Watchmen, but once you read it, it gets pretty deep in your, way of thinking about comic books, your way of thinking about that particular kind of mythology. And Dark Knight Returns and Watchmen, for me.
Yeah, I think they posted on the same page after it's over.
For me. And look, there's plenty of other great comic books. I'm a huge fan. But for me, those two kind of if you're talking about sort of the deconstruction of the why of comic books or the why of those mythological characters,
It's probably going to freeze tomorrow, yeah. Some bullshit.
Those two pieces of reference, you can sort of find your way through it. Whenever anyone
wish there was a way to pause it.
Who's not a comic book fan, it's like, hey, what should I read? What should I what should I think about? What should I I always feel like, have you read Watchmen? Well, no. I'm like, okay, we'll read that and then we can talk. Or have you read Dark Knight Returns? Well, not really. Well, not carefully. I'm like, well, okay,
read that.
Read that too. Because if you do that work, you kind of open your eyes to the world. And I think for me, those influences, whether it be Watchmen or...
It's working right now, Andre. I don't want to fuck with it. Maybe when it buffers again, I'll try that.
That they just... in the way they just discuss loss of innocence. That's kind of goes to what you were saying about the certain parallels between this movie and the other films that are made in sort of this world. And so, yes, the answer is yes. There was a definite Alan Moore pedigree,
Right, Brave.
that has
Brave
continued
Dave.
to influence me as I addressed these iconic characters going forward. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, all of them. They all got, and you can't help it, but to be shot through that prism, because it's kind of it's a raw and real and kind of undeniable Alan's ability to kind of look at the sort of heart of one of those characters and understand why it exists and its flaws and its also strengths. And look, without
Dead right, Jacob. You're dead right.
He's really good at not destroying it. You know what I mean? It's easy to just say, fuck that, that's stupid. Like, I hate that. But this is a guy that loves the character anyway, right? And that's, I think, for me,
there's another guy that was spamming.
Like, that's how I feel about these characters. I love the character, but I still want to know why they tick.
You sent me a PC link?
If there's a rule...
It doesn't come... Links don't come up in my chat. Which is boo-boo.
And it says a character can never do that. That's the first thing I want to do. I'm like, why? What? Oh, you can never go here. Well, let's go there. And if it doesn't, that's just me. That's just love. That's all that is, Anyway.
Tavo just got here.
Plenty of questions here.
That's exactly what. Yeah. Zack Snyder attacked critics. Or he went at them, but we missed it because it was buffering.
All right. Woman got a question. There she is, right up front. Ask us a question. Take her anyway.
I'm already standing. I'm going to stay standing. So I really want to ask you about slow motion, because obviously that's become a very distinct signature of yours.
Controversial.
No, I love it. No, it's all love here, Zach. It's all love.
No, I know, but I just like
it. So there's obviously a ton of it in this film, and it's very striking visually, and in particular at the beginning, the fight with the comedian, and then also the assassin being disarmed by our hidden villain, were really amazing sequences. So I would love to know how you came to realize that you really love to use slow motion, and then also how that affects the way you plan these sequences. Because, of course, these are very elaborate. They do not happen by accident.
Someone's asking about the slow motion. God, it only works with, these fucking questions I don't want to hear.
Even fake slow motion. That is to say.
Oh, there we go. Now the link comes up.
We didn't have the frame rate to make
copy it.
frames per second shot film. So we would you look at punch of face, just literally be like, I just squish his face, shoot it at 120 frames. So it was slow motion, but not what's implied. And even in the title sequence, almost what feels like super slow motion shots, it's someone just standing still. And then the flash bulb, we built this basically they had some
yeah.
camera. We just put a bulb in it, a light bulb, just a race that up and down.
Yeah, Vincent, that link's not working on my PC. Maybe on Mac.
So a lot of that is it was very deliberate, very particular, and also it adds. There's something off-putting and weird about it too, which I think is cool. In retrospect, that it's not 100% this weird ultra slow motion that you can achieve now with the digital camera, 1,000 frames per second. It's no big deal. 2,000 frames per second. But we were really struggling to kind of create that because you can't slow flash. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. The cool thing about the old Flash is that there was literally
Peter,
inside
Batman killing is such a subjective rule. It's an arbitrary rule that fans created. He's killed a lot in the movies and comics.
I know this is too boring, but the thing is, we realized we can use electronic.
The principle is he doesn't kill intentionally. You know, he's not a murderer, which he doesn't do in BVS.
And you saw the whole look thingy, right? So then that's like weeks of thinking that the 5K ball, flash, silvery, look into it.
Batman isn't the Punisher, but there's no denying that people die. like in Death in the Family, in the New 52, he forces the Joker off a cliff. Like, you know,
he's fighting that guy.
I don't think Joker survived that.
Oh, that's Ozzy. That's supposed to be Ozzy. That's just Rich. He's beating the crap out of Tim. Oh, so yeah, Tim, because Tim looks a lot like. He looked good. He looked like a comedian. So like even I was struggling to go like, is that? Oh, there he is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you try and find what shots we give the actors.
Yeah, everybody tried that link Vincent posted up there.
It's fun. It's like,
it wasn't working on mine. It just sent me to the Apple store.
It's weird. Face like that. It's pretty good. That's a good face. It was, you know. Sorry. Cool. You're on. Hey, when you kind of deal with deconstruction of the genre, or
that's right, Phantom. They have changed a lot.
What a character is, and I want to challenge that. Do you put any idea or thoughts into all these what people, you know, what people?
I agree. Cryptic. I agree. The Dark Knight trilogy is not very comic accurate. I mean, if you really want to like, you know, get into it, Batman's he's not Batman at all. He stops being Batman twice in those films. That's not Batman. Yeah.
This movie,
Batman would never stop being Batman.
This is the graphic novel. There's no, like, the morality of this graphic novel.
I have the window open.
Is the morality of the graphic novel.
Nothing's like opening.
You know, it's not. We didn't embellish the morality of this film. This is what's written.
Yeah,
nothing's
opening.
True to canon and true to what Alan.
Getting tired.
Alan might have a different opinion.
Dark Knight is heat with costumes. That's a good comparison.
But, you know, our intent.
In other words, The Dark Knight's a fucking good movie.
As much as we could.
Fucking really good movie.
Going forward from there, I guess that's what.
Yes, like, Batman. Ben Affleck Batman is the best live action Batman, that's for sure.
Open your eyes to that. It's hard. Like that's the point I was trying to make.
Juan keeps projecting here.
View of these characters completely. It's always I
keep projecting.
I still believe, you know, what Superman stands for. You know, as far as you know, he's a good guy. He means well. He has it. He's not gonna fuck you over. He's not gonna do shitty stuff as best he can. You know, like he's gonna try his best. You know, he was raised. His parents were cool. You know, they raised him right. They loved the shit out of him. They tried the best they could. You know, they had an alien for a child. You know, that's hard. You know, he could have murdered them at any moment. But he was an alien by accident. Thank God that didn't happen. I can tell you, my 6-year-old would have murdered me a long time ago.
Wow, it like buffered at the exact spot where he stopped talking. That's fucked up. Man, it's like going good for like 10 minutes and then there we go. I guess.
Somehow they gave it through adolescence. You know, so clearly they were good parents. You know? And so, like, you have this character that is.
Where it says Google Play.
Really, as best you can. And that's the fun of it. Is like that character's confronted with a world that doesn't really care about that stuff as much as he does. You know, he wants to do the right thing. He really does. And
Yeah, man, you got to send me like screenshots or something. I'm not seeing anywhere where it's telling you to play.
As best he can. You know,
What browser are you in, Vincent?
You know, it's funny because like I remember when
did I buy the Zack Snyder T-shirt? Do I have to like, of course I did. Of course. There's nothing underneath the buttons. What browser are you guys in?
No, I get it.
You guys in I'm using Google Chrome right now.
It's an interesting thing to confront, though, right? Like when you talk about it, like, truth, justice, and the American way is a thing to confront. It's confronted in this movie, you know.
Yeah, Dave, he is talking about Superman a lot for a Watchmen Q&A.
Idea, but then really stripped down to like, okay, let's talk about it. Right? That's what it is. That's what it is. So
yeah, it's just blank underneath that.
What's amazing about Superman is he stayed with it. You know, he's gonna see it through it because, at its heart there is something there.
So strange.
There was a why of that. You know, that didn't happen by accident in the vacuum. He actually stood for something, and I believe in that, and I want that to mean something. You know, but at the same time, that can't mean something, right, without the consequence of the reality of that point of view. And that doesn't mean it.
Disney didn't own Rotten Tomatoes yet. Dude, Rotten Tomatoes was not a thing when The Dark Knight came out. No one gave a fuck about Rotten Tomatoes. Like, no one went to that website in 2009 and 8. No one cared. It's only recently. Andrew Edge. Someone asked about Snyder Cut Justice League. Do we miss something? It is buffering a lot. We might miss something.
No.
Fucking play. Will it play? I'm about to back out the window. Try another window. Fucking clapping for something. Gotta reopen the window. This is fucking ridiculous.
The film, but never at the expense of the acting. And
I'm gonna try that right now because this is buffering way too much. I'm loading up the 4K one. Let's read through some of these comments. Critics gave Wonder Woman a high score, but honestly, that movie was mediocre. That's I guess that's debatable, but I liked Wonder Woman. I didn't think it was like perfect. Dipka, do you think someone might ask him about directing Man of Steel 2? Hopefully. Jacob Salas. Till recently, what was that? Till recently, something Rotten Tomatoes. What do you say? Till recently, spots decide to have fresh on Rotten Tomatoes bullshit. Yeah, I've been noticing that with movies. They put it's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. After 3 reviews, it's 100%. You can talk about so much. The Phantom. Wonder Woman fits the Me Too feminist agenda. I don't know. I don't know about that. This 4K one's not buffering. This is taking way too long. Man of Steel. Of course, Man of Steel's better. No one's saying Wonder Woman's better than Man of Steel. Yeah, it's definitely possible he's saving something big for BBS. Hardboil. Oh, yeah. Definitely possible. I gotta go back to the other one. That's taking way too long. That is who you talk to. Man of Steel is better than Wonder Woman, and I love Wonder Woman 2. Liz says, yeah, man. A lot of people love that movie. I'm 110% sure that the audience is told to ask questions about the film only, not even BBS questions. Are you sure? Source, man. Source. Yeah, viewers live stream does suck. And it's nearing the end too, anyway.
Somewhere, the DVD's still lying around. But I gotta be honest. Like when I saw it, I was pretty much like,
dude, it's ridiculous. The Phantom. My point is, Wonder Woman got good reviews because of feminism. Man of Steel is better and got bad reviews. The movie itself doesn't push this agenda. I don't think Wonder Woman pushes that agenda. Like, when you think about it, the whole point of the Wonder Woman is that she's wrong, you know?
and I think we did.
And Chris Pine's like, I wish I could tell you it's one bad person. But it's not. Kind of off topic, but you really have great skin. Not really. Not really, man. Really pale skin, I guess you could say.
Through a bunch of different ideas, but it was for us. I think for Debbie and I, it was always.
You think BBS is a masterpiece? Of course, Edge. Of course, it's a masterpiece. Score on a website doesn't matter. It didn't matter 10 years ago. It doesn't matter now. It's a masterpiece.
Patrick ended up too because it was just like those guys had done Little Children. It was funny because I think we liked both of them, and then in that year, Little Children had
You're not the only one that likes Eisenberg.
Like, I remember we were at the Academy.
Michael.
They were not the Academy Awards. They were, and I saw you guys like. You're gonna be in my movie, and at that point, there was no movie, and it was all just like.
Dude, this live stream. This Bureau live. They need to fix this shit. This is ridiculous.
Movie, it's like, and if you had been there, you'd be like, hey, sure, that's cool. It's like, but yeah, it worked out awesome. And Patrick's amazing. He's like a perfect Dan, like literally a perfect Dan. I don't know how he walked right out of it. He literally walked right out of the pages. And you two together are just amazing. Yeah, I really love it. And then Billy is just, he's just, he's.
I wish there was a way I could pause it and let it buffer. Can't do that.
Christy Carlson, who is one of the casting directors.
Prime Bureau isn't working for you? Dude, it's been like shit all night.
Lorries, right? So
Cuts off like every 5 minutes.
Young ladies to play Lori. And I was with her for
Andre says there's 2 more questions.
Sitting in the room. But Christy would read Manhattan, with the ladies. They would always read that scene. We're all puppets, Lori. I'm just a puppet that can see the strings. And whenever I watch the movie, I hear Christy in my head because she's just like this deadpan version of it, which is weirdly the same way that Billy
Right,
plays it.
Dave?
And it's kind of like this
So
cool
fucking
thing.
frustrating.
There online, I saw a T-shirt that was out the other day that said like, "Well, Puppets Blurry, I'm just about to see strings," and I was like, I need to buy that for Christy because that's like her. That's her to me anyway. It's a rant, but it's
Awesome. All right, so we have time for 2 more questions. So who do we have here?
Yes, guys. I wish somebody would just yell, release the Snyder Cut.
Over here, sir.
Hey, hi, my name's Aaron. I'm very nervous right now. From the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you guys for everything you do.
Aaron Levy's there.
It's inspired me. In terms of viewing the world, actually, this movie, Man of Steel, that Superman has taught me to do the world more empathetically and to do the world that's more inclusive. And so thank you for that. Because it gave me a better man, a better human being. That's what film should do. That's what it
Really? We totally missed that, Andre.
Yeah, the most
I gotta rewatch the stream. Fuck.
So congratulations on that, because that's.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Well, you definitely planted your visions. That's definitely inspiring to artists who want to get out there, definitely. So, hopefully that tradition continues on in the future. So.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I hope so too. Is that what he's talking about? It just happened. You're ahead of us, Andre.
One of the best parts of your filmmaking is that. I'm sorry.
Zack Snyder didn't really say anything.
The best part of your filmmaking is the action. The fight scenes. Most blockbusters were very shaky camera.
Somebody just yelled, release the Snyder Cut. It sounded like Matt from Comic Book Remarks.
Very awesome. So I was wondering, during Watchmen, it was most of your fight scenes. Like, what movies do you look to, and how did you even develop your style of the action scenes in general?
Yeah, I'm not. I mean,
We gotta be
I
like a
just have
couple minutes
particular
behind.
taste for action is like particular. And Damon Carl was my stunt coordinator, fight choreographer.
That's pretty epic.
Collaborator really shares my taste 100% when it comes to photographing fight scenes or.
David, it is concerning, but that might be because he's waiting to say something. Maybe. I don't know.
It always I honestly don't think it's necessarily based on I couldn't think of another movie, but
Zack Snyder said something. I couldn't hear it, Proctor.
have a particular way, but I don't. Here's one of the things is that like it's just time consuming. That's the problem with the style. It's hard to do. It's like it takes like an amazing editor, a grill, to make it make sense. When you're doing a sequence that relies on one shot to make the next shot make sense, and then that shot relies on the next shot like a puzzle or like gears. It's a harder way of making a movie, frankly, than just like hosing it down.
Is that what he said, Special K?
If I shake the camera here,
that would be something. I have to go back and listen to it closely.
So it requires a commitment, to a way of doing it.
Everybody knows.
But it's cool. It's fun.
Are you saying together? You're saying that this is what takes a long time?
Yeah, that's what takes a long time. It's not Larry at all.
Should say that. Unlike most, a lot of films that just stage the action.
Yeah, Zack Snyder said something like really quiet. It might have been something like that.
One camera.
I was talking to. I remember when I was talking to Russell Crowe.
Tomorrow night might be the night, guys. I'm gonna make sure my internet connection is fucking top notch
and we were talking about the
for tomorrow.
He goes, "Well, how do you shoot?" And I'm like, shoot. I use a movie camera. And I pointed at him. He's like, "I'm used to 10 cameras pointed at me." I was like, "Okay, that's awesome too." but we're gonna just do it with the one, and hopefully it's cool.
Hopefully it's cool.
And he was really shocked by that we were just gonna use one camera. And I was like, I don't know how to like. It's hard to do. Like look, and I have a huge respect for like Ridley Scott and like if you can.
Yeah, Kyle, we all heard that one.
Take 5 cameras and make 5
Pretty epic.
shots. That's cool. That's amazing. That's another awesome talent. But for me, it's like I kind of like the one. It is the one that seems like the best one. So I don't know. But yeah, so that it is. But it is time consuming to kind of like because it's like you're like a bricklayer. Like okay, we got that one. What's next? Okay, we gotta go. And then like it's a whole new thing. It's not like you can't just look at the sequence and be like, okay, we host it down. There's the 10 cameras.
Yeah, man, Tice, there's not going to be any empty seats tomorrow.
I think you have to have a great sun core.
Yes, Dave.
Great
The pressure is mounting.
The performers, we got
because if you that look right, if it look great, you can't really speed it up so much. It's just not going to look right. So I think he has some great sun performers.
Yeah, it's tricky. So like that's the thing, and it's funny when we're shooting, it's literally feels like that a lot of the time. Like suddenly it's like 2 hours we've been working on like a shot, and we get like, okay, that's cool, it looks good, okay, we got it. Okay, what's next? And literally the next shot is like only the next punch in the sequence. And we're like, okay, we got the shot where he gets punched in the face, and now we're gonna get the shot where he gets punched in the face again. And like, okay, but it's an entirely different setup that's going to take another 2 hours for us to do. So there is a dedication to the process that you have to like be all in on.
That's what I'm wondering too, Andrew.
Otherwise, you just
he might not be allowed to say anything.
Let's just.
In which case,
whatever. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
We're boned, right?
All right, so Aaron, wrap us up.
Last best.
Last question.
Here we go.
He's here.
I did that on purpose.
He's going to close. He's a closer. Let's see what this is. Everybody ready?
He's a film student.
He's a film student.
See you tomorrow.
So Zach, you're a very
Crush it.
director, and so this is a question for you and Barry. You kind of just talk about the relationship between DP and director.
Yeah.
How much?
Yeah, man, it's been buffering like crazy. Of course, it's late.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, look, I've known Larry for quite a long time. He and I think the first film we shot together was the World War I movie, Death and Beauty. Was that the first one? That was our first film. It was in our basics, our Super 8 basics of film class in this school right here. By the way, it premiered in this theater. And
I hope he's going to give a solid answer, Phantom. He knows everybody's like starved for this.
This theater right here, and I had to push on my boot box. We had boot boxes.
Yeah, not one person asked about the Snyder Cut, but somebody did shout it out.
Okay, that I owned, and I thought it was pretty awesome.
There's that.
So I pushed play on my boot box, and some Requiem. Like,
yeah, not very impressed with the last question.
World War I, crazy, So that was this World War I movie that I had like coached Larry.
Yeah, hopefully the stream tomorrow night will be better, guys.
Was me.
Hopefully it won't be as many
cast.
fucking internet issues. And Ethernet cord seems to be working. Live stream hasn't gone out yet.
And that was Who Dies, yeah. So it was cool. And I think you did the makeup effects too, right? You did the bullet one. Yeah, because Larry has experience in prosthetics as well. And
Basics 1, you said that.
No. Okay.
Well, Basics 1 is super great, but we have to say that a lot of people didn't take that class seriously. I would say it's because they're waiting to do, either shoot a video or something. So it's fair to say a couple of people kind of didn't take the class seriously. It was very major.
It's fair to say.
But that's still not.
The problem is,
Please don't take it seriously. And I took it serious. I thought it was like a heart attack. It was the most serious thing I could imagine.
Well, he did the trenches in his backyard.
yeah, I'll try. try to fix any problems I have.
Yeah, no, I had told these people.
The Ethernet cord is working now for this live stream.
Actually, a friend of ours
Hasn't gone out
said,
once
"Hey,
since I
is
plugged it
it
into my
ready?
computer.
I'm trying to shoot
It's
a
just this
film
fucking Bureau app.
and
Keeps
we need to
crashing.
dig up the backyard, or I need some ground." And it was, they were like, "Yeah, sure, we don't." Our grass is.
Yeah, Proctor, I'm going to be asking them.
And I was like, "Yeah, I'll leave it." Really
They're probably out right now.
So you can plant grass. So it'll be.
I
like
could have
a-
swore that was Matt from Comic
and
Movie Marks
the
that
guy
just
came
shouted
home
that
from
out.
work, and
I could have swore. It sounded just like him.
This guy's house, like.
Oh, yeah, Special K. I mean, it was working fine yesterday.
40 feet
And now it's
long.
just
And
shit.
He was like, "What the fuck? Are you serious? Like, this is insane." And
Did sound like it.
what happened was he couldn't really stop us. We shot the movie. It was like, I think it was like 2 days. I don't forget how long we shot it. Say 2 days. So we shot it, and then I filled it in, right? But the guy was so freaked out by how much digging we had done. He kept calling me, going like, "Hey man, can you come over and take
Kyle.
the trash out?
I will.
Because like you really dug up my backyard." And I go, "I know, but I fixed that, and it's cool now." And he goes, "Yeah, but it was you dug it up so
Agreed,
much
Prime.
that you need to come take my
It's
trash
only
out too.
reasonable, right?
And could you like wash my towels?
Only makes sense.
And like my dishes are dirty." I was like, "I'm not your indentured servant. I just heard you dug up your backyard. I know it was extreme, but it's done now." He just could not. He was not cool. Like he couldn't. He kept, like months later, he kept going.
I think Matt from Comic Movie Marks said it. Dark Saber.
It's cool. It's fine. I only broke one pipe.
We'll see.
There's a good moral of the story. I don't know if you know it or not.
Never let the film students in your house.
The takeaway. I heard about this movie through the current president of the school, who said he heard from the guy who was president at the time that it ended up on his desk. Your movie.
Yeah, Andre. We're behind like a couple minutes.
What the hell?
Probably like 5 minutes.
Keep an eye on them. This is freaking awesome because nobody.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
No one else was taking it seriously. The
Yeah.
whole story got out about the trenches, and they're just like,
Wow. We're really buffering on the last goddamn sentence. Well, yeah, it's over now. It just buffered past that. Oh. Sorry, leaning over like that fucking kills my neck. But yeah. That was it. That was pretty much it. They're walking out now. Let's see if we can see the Comic Movie Marks. I see a lot of Watchmen posters. That's pretty cool. They just got handed out. Yeah, it's a little bit more exciting tonight. Like it wasn't as exciting last night, and tonight, it's just a little bit more. Then tomorrow it's gonna be like up here, like, we'll see you tomorrow, Deepka. Same time tomorrow, guys. 8 o'clock Pacific time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Game face. Game face, bro. Tomorrow is the day, man. Big Boss. Been here the whole time. Just wanted to read the comments and listen to what was said. Yeah, it'll definitely be tomorrow, guys. Okay. Hopefully the stream won't be as shit tomorrow. Maybe if we make sure the internet's perfect, it might be a little bit better. Wayfair family. Yeah, nothing happened. Nothing revealed. Someone did just shout out, release the Snyder Cut, and Zack Snyder possibly said something. We don't know exactly what he said. People are saying he said, "I hope so." So there's that. WB execs won't sleep until the cut's released. Damn right. Keep them awake. Yeah. Hopefully we won't have the stream crash again tomorrow like it did in the middle. And hopefully it won't be buffering as much. 11 o'clock Eastern Time, US, is when I'm going to stream. It starts at 8 o'clock Pacific Time. the Snyder stream. Yeah, dude. I mean, it feels like they're building up to something. yeah. Comic movie Marks got let out by gunpoint. yeah. Yeah, Shadow. I started up a new one like an hour ago. Plugged in the Ethernet cable. Hasn't died yet. I'll keep the Ethernet cable plugged in. Oh, you're gonna miss the stream tomorrow. That's unfortunate, Iron Maiden. Ryan, it's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. Yeah, we can all feel it. It's gonna be awesome. Rise and rise again till lambs become lions. Release the Snyder Cut. That's pretty epic line, Jetfire. Oh yeah, man, dude. Any way you can watch this viewer live stream, do it, because this. I mean, it was going in and out the whole time. Like every 5 minutes, it would buffer. Fucking nightmare. Yeah, man. Good night, Proctor. They said the age of heroes will never come again. Well, they lied. I mean, he could just say, WB won't let him talk about it. That could be it, but he has to say something else. Like, give us something else, right? Just anything, any little thing would be nice. Yeah, good night, Iron Maiden. Yeah, that's it for tonight. It was exciting. I'll see if what the comic marks we're hearing there. Good night, everybody. It's almost here. Tomorrow will be an exciting night. We're going to see if Zack Snyder actually talks about his director's cut of Justice League and if it's going to get released. Hopefully. All right. That's it for now. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.